thanks for watching. I just wanted to do a video on my Ancestry DNA and my 23andMe results. So this is not like a first impression because I took these tests last year, but I just wanted to share my results with you guys because they made me really excited, and I'm still excited about what I found out. So basically a little bit family history. My family is from Jamaica. My mom, my dad, everyone. We're all born there except for me. My mom is from St. Elizabeth, which is in the southwestern part of the country, and my dad is from St. Anne, which is in like the north central part of the country. So yeah, and as far as I have been able to find, like my family has been here in the Americas since like the early 1800s, late 1700s, probably before then. But all of the records I could find go back to the late 1700s. At least that's mostly on my dad's side. For my mom, I've been having a little bit of trouble finding out about her history, but I have information, I think up until my great-great-grandparents on my mom's side. So that's really cool. I've been doing my family tree on Ancestry for a few years now. So it's a service that I really enjoy. So last year I did a 23andMe test because I really wanted to find out more about my family. My great-grandfather, my dad's grandfather, had told him when he was younger that most of our family was from like the Ashanti and the Igbo tribes, or the Igbo tribe, so like from Ghana and Nigeria. So like that was something that, you know, I grew up thinking about my heritage. I also knew that we had Irish and Spanish background on my dad's side. And then for my mom, her dad died when she was younger, so she didn't really know that much about her side of her family. And then with my grandmother, she never really asked her too much about, you know, the family history when my grandmother were still alive. And then both of my grandparents on my mom's side have passed away, so I haven't really gotten that much information about, like, you know, like their ancestral background. But I do know like where my mom's family lives in, St. Elizabeth. It's really close to the Akapong Maroon town. So it's like a town that was created by mostly the runaway slaves from the Ghana region. And they created these small towns kind of in the jungle area, where they could, like, you know, live separate from the slave masters and everything else on the island. And they had mixed with some of the native people that were still living there, so the Arawak and the Taino natives. And so because my family is so close to that part in St. Elizabeth, my cousin did mention that, you know, maybe we could have some trace Native American ancestry on my mom's side, but it wasn't really something I was looking for. So let me tell you what my 23andMe results were. And don't mind, I'm just looking at my computer. So for 23andMe, I got 89.6% Sub-Saharan Africa, and of that 89.6%, 84.4% was from West Africa, 2.1% was from Central and South Africa, and then 3% is broadly Sub-Saharan Africa. So what I understand from my reading is when they say something is like from broadly a region, they can't really trace like specific area that your DNA came from. So it's more like your DNA could be found in like all parts of that continent or that country. So 3% of my DNA is from like all of Sub-Saharan Africa. So that was really awesome. And then 10.2% of my DNA is European. And of that 10.2%, 7.6% is Northwestern Europe. And 3.5% of that percentage is British and Irish. Less than 1% Scandinavian. And 4% broadly Northwestern Europe. And then I also got 0.6% Southern Europe, and that's all broadly Southern Europe. And then also 2% broadly European in general. And then, as we predicted, I got 0.1% Native American and less than 0.1% East Asian, and that's broadly East Asia. And then I also had 0.1% unassigned. So that was really cool. I was really excited to see the breakdown. I was a little bit disappointed that the Africa percentages were so general. I thought it was going to be more country specific. So that's why I went ahead and I also did the Ancestry DNA test. So before I tell you my Ancestry DNA test, I just want to tell you what my maternal haplogroup was from 23andMe. So I got L3E3B1, which is really awesome. It is a haplogroup from Africa. It's either from Central or Northeastern Africa, and it originated about 45,000 years ago, and it spread with the migration of the Bantu people. So it's mostly found in Bantu speakers and African Americans. So that was really awesome. Because I'm not a guy, I wasn't able to find out my paternal haplogroup, my dad's paternal haplogroup, but I did find it out later with Wee gene. So let me read to you my Ancestry DNA results. And I just used the app on my phone because it's really easy to kind of track things and update things on the go, in particular for like my family tree DNA. Family tree research. There we go. So let's see. So this was my pie chart. So, hello Cheryl. Ethnicity estimate. So let's view the full ethnicity estimate. So I got 89% Africa. So basically the same as 23andMe. So that's great. Of the 89%, 31% was from Benin and Togo, 20% was from Cameroon, Congo, 17% Nigeria, and 17% Ivory Coast and Ghana. And then I had 4% trace regions from 2 areas, so 3% South Central hunter-gatherers, and less than 1% Senegal. And then I had 11% Europe, 9% of the 11 was from Great Britain, and I had 2 trace regions, 1% Finland, Northwest Russia, and less than 1% Iberian Peninsula. So that was really cool. Basically in line with a lot of the things that I knew about my family and expected from 23andMe. The only thing that kind of confused me was the Benin and Togo percentage, especially since it was the largest one, just because I know there weren't really that many slaves brought over by the British to the Caribbean from Benin and Togo, but I read online that the region could actually show more of your Ghanaian and Nigerian heritage, but I'm not 100% sure. You just have to look at, the information you know about your family. But regardless, I thought all of that was really cool. I see all of the regions that I expected to see, which is really exciting. And then for my birthday this year, I did my parents' Ancestry DNA test. So I got their results back in January last month. And I was so excited when I saw their results, just because a lot of their DNA is from only 1 or 2 countries, or 1 or 2 regions. And I was like, yay! It's just really nice to have a feeling that you are from, a specific area. So that made me really excited. So let me show you my dad's results first. So yeah, my dad's pie chart is awesome. So let's view my dad's full ethnicity estimate. So he got 92% Africa. And of that 92%, 41% was from Cameroon and Congo, 32% Ivory Coast, Ghana, and 16% Benin and Togo. And then he had 3 trace regions, 1% Nigeria, less than 1% Africa, Southeastern Bantu, and less than 1% Africa, South Central hunters and gatherers. And then he had 8% Europe, and those are all trace regions. So you got 5% Iberian Peninsula, 2% Great Britain, and 1% Finland, Northwest Russia. So those were all really cool. So excited to see such high numbers for Cameroon and Congo and Ivory Coast and Ghana. Yeah. And then I expected to see Iberian Peninsula, expected to see Great Britain. Yeah, the 92% Africa just made me really, really excited. And then my mom's results. My mom's pie chart is also really cool. So this is my mom's. So let's view her full ethnicity estimate. So she also got 92% Africa and 8% Europe. And of the 92% Africa, 56% was from Nigeria, 16% Ivory Coast, Ghana, 13% Benin and Togo, and then she had 4 trace regions. So 3% Cameroon, Congo, 2% Africa, South Central Hunter and Gatherers, 1% Mali, and less than 1% Senegal. And then her 8% Europe is all from Great Britain. And then I looked at her cousins, specifically the European ones, to try and see more about the Great Britain. And I'm pretty sure that 8% is all from Scotland. So yeah, it was really exciting to see the results, to just feel like, you know, I have a place where I can say my people are from. Like whenever I see my mom now, I'm like, yeah, Nigeria. So like, yeah, she was really excited too for her percentages, especially since I mentioned like she didn't know that much about her background. So now she kind of feels like, you know, her people are from Nigeria, as well as all of the other regions as well. So yeah, it's really exciting. I've uploaded our DNA to DNA Land and GEDmatch and DNA Tribes and WeGene. So just a tiny bit obsessed, just a tiny bit. As I mentioned, with 23andMe, I wasn't able to get my paternal haplogroup, but when I put my dad's information on WeGene, I was able to find out about his haplogroups. So his maternal haplogroup is also from the L family. I think it was L1, pretty sure, and it's also from like Central Africa. So that was really cool. And then I found out that his paternal haplogroup was actually from the I family. It was like I2A2, A1, I believe. And that's actually a European haplogroup, specifically from Great Britain. So yeah, so that was a bit unexpected, but I guess, you know, going back, his paternal ancestor is originally from Great Britain. But then his mother's ancestor, his maternal ancestor, is from Africa, and then my mom's maternal ancestor is from Africa. I haven't been able to find out about her paternal haplogroup, but I'm hoping to find out some more information about it in the future. But anyways, thank you for listening, and I hope you have a great day. Bye!